Hey, my name is Nina, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Life with Answer. I'm going to be sharing about my journey living with cancer, life with stage 2 triple negative breast cancer. It has been a journey, and I'm a big researcher. I love seeing and hearing about what people are going through. It helps inform me on my own personal journey. And I kind of struggle to find information, personal information from people outside of message boards to talk about their journey with breast cancer as well as with triple negative breast cancer. And so that's why I decided to start Life with Answer. I have cancer, but it doesn't, I don't want it to be the dominant part of my life. I think that a lot of things have been clarified, though, since my diagnosis. And I want to share all parts of that journey. So let's start at the beginning and how I even got to figure out that I had breast cancer. I'm going to say it all started on a family vacation. Wonderful vacation to Jamaica with my parents, my siblings, close friends. My sister got engaged, so I have a soon-to-be new brother-in-law. And on that trip, I was really active. I remember sitting towards the last day of the trip with my brother, and I commented that I was having back pain. My brother's an athletic trainer, and so I wanted some tips on how to sit, how to adjust my posture so that I could alleviate this back pain that I was feeling. And funny enough, he commented that one of the reasons I had back pain was because I had big boobs. And I brushed it off, but it was also one of those moments where, you get that little tingly sense and you're like, it's stuck in my head. Fast forward, getting home from the trip, and the back pain was still there, but it actually had really severe hip pain. I thought that from all the swimming and running, not running, I wasn't running, all the swimming and walking that I was doing in Jamaica, that I just overexerted myself. And so I was icing. I, again, called my brother. What exercises can I do? How can you help me get through this? And a week later, it was still there. So on a Friday, I went to an urgent care, and I was seen by a physician. She checked me out. She moved my hips all kinds of ways, legs up, legs down. And she said, "Oh, it's not your hips. You're not reacting at all to this hip flexor testing. I think it's your ovaries. You need to go see your OBGYN." Okay. So that Monday, I called my OBGYN, and they got me scheduled for an appointment that day. I went in. She gave me, a full exam, and she said that I wasn't reacting to ovary pain. It didn't seem like it was my ovaries. She thought maybe it was my colon and to go see my general practitioner. I said, okay. To be on the safe side, she said she wanted to have a full abdominal ultrasound. Let's just make sure everything was clear on her end. I took that referral and scheduled an appointment at the radiology center to get that done, which I think was going to happen the next week. And in that appointment, my OBGYN said, "Oh, are you doing your monthly breast exams?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I am." I lied. I had done them. I wasn't doing them regularly. I wasn't marking them on a calendar. But I knew that I'd had a mammogram less than a year ago that came back all clear. And in between that mammogram and that date, I had done a breast exam, at least one, right? At least one. And it was fine. But again, that kind of prickly feeling, the same way that I had this funny prickly feeling when my brother said, "Oh, it's your boobs," is the feeling that I had when I left my OBGYN's office. My OB didn't perform an exam on me that day, a breast exam, And I imagine that had I been truthful and said, no, I'm not doing them, she may have. So it's always really important to be honest with your doctors. Anyway, that thought lingered in my head. I scheduled an appointment with my general practitioner. I went in to go and find out, what was going on with my colon now, right? So we've gone from, we think it's your hip, I think it's my hip, to no, it might be your ovaries, to no, it might be your colon. In that appointment, I was so happy because my general practitioner, she completely understood the feelings that I was talking about. And we assessed that maybe it was gastrointestinal, in fact, and that I was having some digestive issues. She gave me some advice: start taking Metamucil every day, try to use this FODMAP diet. And I did that. And over the course of the next week, the pain that I was feeling in my lower abdomen near my hip and groin area went away. But then that feeling that I had in my back and chest area was now more exacerbated, or it's more noticeable because I wasn't having this other pain. When I left that emergency appointment with my general practitioner, I decided I would go ahead and schedule my physical, and they scheduled that for the following week. Over the course of that weekend, just a few days, I think that appointment was a Thursday, and I was going to go back to have a physical on Tuesday. Throughout that time, my test results came back from my ultrasound, my abdominal ultrasound, that said that I had a fatty liver. And my OBGYN said I needed to get a full workup. And it really started to kind of panic a little bit. I was Dr. Googling and all the things that you can find wrong on Google. So I just was like, oh my goodness, it's hepatitis, it's these horrible things. And I was telling my husband about it. I was, kind of in this spinning mode. If you know me, and if you continue to watch, I am high anxiety. I will make up a story and run with it. My brain goes off into the nether region. So anyway, I talking to my husband, and I'm like, oh, please just let this be a matter of making lifestyle changes and nothing more severe. And I comment to him during this process that my OB had asked about my monthly breast exams, and that I really wasn't honest with her about it. And I was like, oh, but I'll start doing them. I know everything's fine because I just had a mammogram, and I know I've done a test between now and then. So, maybe 3 months ago, I'm good. And my husband said, well, why don't you teach me how to do those breast exams, and I will make sure you get them done every month. Okay. So I'm like, okay, trying to get frisky. I'm like, all right, let me show you. And so we go, and I'm laying down, and I am showing him how to do the exam. And it's all clear. We're good. We're laughing. It's like two high school students playing doctor. We're just giggling and having a good time. And then he goes over to do my left breast, and he stopped and said, I feel a lump. And I was like, huh? What? What'd you feel? What? Well, all the irony in this, too, is I feel very strongly about paying attention to signs, paying attention to what's going on around you. I watch A Million Little Things. It's one of my favorite shows. And maybe in the episode that week, or maybe it was the week before, Maggie and Gary are on the bed, they're getting it, and Maggie touches him and says, I feel a lump. And so that scene, when I saw it, gave me that same prickly feeling that I had when my brother commented that it was my boobs, when my OB asked if I was doing my exams. And when I saw that scene, I was like, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's just a moment that I locked in my mind. I wanted to really dismiss it. But I felt it, and I did notice something. Um, it was hard to tell. I was like, I don't know. Is that just how they feel? That's how they're supposed to feel? Or if this is really something? That was a Saturday. That Monday, I called my OB's office to go in, and I couldn't really feel the lump that Monday. So when I called, I said, I think I want to come in. And then I was like, oh, I don't really think I feel it. I think I'm not going to come in. And I knew I had a physical the next day. So that Tuesday, I went in for my physical, talked to my doctor. I was like, hey, all that advice you gave me, Metamucil, FODMAP, it's working, feel a lot better. But oh, by the way, this thing happened. I think you feel a lump. And she felt it and said, yeah, it's hard to tell for me too. I don't know if it really is or not. But she said, if you want to be on the safe side, you can go in for a diagnostic mammogram. She said you could do that, or you could just wait until the summer. My mammogram, my annual mammogram, would have been in June. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go in. I'd rather go do the diagnostic. So she gave me a referral. And when I left, I called and I made an appointment. But I was still thinking it's probably not really a big deal, because I was having a hard time distinguishing whether it was just the like fibrosity and denseness of my normal breast tissue or an actual lump. So when I called to make the appointment, they could have gotten me in immediately, but I was like, oh no, I have a meeting at work. I don't want to miss this meeting with my boss. This is so important. And so I pushed it off for about 2 weeks. And that is when all the fun really begins. All right, thanks for tuning in today. If you like this video, click the like button and don't forget to subscribe.